A dictatorship is a big ship in which they dictate us what to say and what to think. So you better learn to swim and prepare the rafts, because this ship is gonna sink, and hopefully taking its evil captains with it. So here it says in French, the Godfather, you listen to me now, or I shoot you with the LBD-40 by BNT Brugger und Tommet from CH Confederatia Helvetica, that means Switzerland. And in this film, I will give you some occult intel on this captain of the Pink List killers. And Captain Evil here, also called the Godfather, became the president of France on May 14th, 2017. And as he's fully aware of his personal pharaonic nobility's bloodline, he wanted to be the Pharaoh of France and celebrate in front of the Louvre Pyramid in Paris, France, right next to where the Knights Templars were burnt 700 years earlier. So, on the very day of his election to be the Pharaoh of France for the next concept of 4 years over the slaves, he celebrated as a true ancestral pharaoh in front of his pyramid, which was actually forbidden to do so due to security issues and due to France's tradition for the newly elected president to go celebrate in the Élysée, the French presidential palace, also in Paris. And here it says Pharaon Makronos. And I'm not joking now, there actually is a pyramid which is called the Pyramid of Makronos, and which is one of the 3 pyramids of Gizeh, the small one. You know, the big one is the Pyramid of Cheops, and the little one is the Pyramid of Makronos. It also has another name, and I'll tell you more about it in a minute. So, and here it says Ensemble la France, it means Together France. Here it says May the 7th, 2017. So that was the day of the election. And on May the 14th, a week later, he officially became the president. And at the moment, he's doing all these signs here all the time, doing the pyramid. And so this is the Pyramid of the Louvre. This is exactly like the Pyramid of Makronos, and which is the pyramid of the Da Vinci Code film as well. So he knows where he's from. He knows about his ancestry. You know, you can see it here, you can see it here, and I'll show you some more. You'll be astonished what you're gonna see. So soon after that, he paid a presidential visit to Egypt, which is getting a bit suspicious, as all these presidents visit Egypt during their presidential reign to visit the sites of the ancestors, about whom he seems to be dreaming here, or even be in direct spiritual contact through the voodoo practices they do, about which I will give you solid proofs in this film. it says Pharaoh Makronos. And as I told you, there is a pyramid called Makronos. And of course, so did President Macron, visiting Egypt and its ancient artifacts, where his name, Macron, could very well be a modern version of Pharaoh Makronos. Makronos, Makronos, Macron, who had built one of the three Gizeh pyramids, the little one in fact, which is also called the Makronos pyramid. And in fact, here it says Makronos, which is the Greek name of this pharaoh here, whose demotic name is Menkaura. And in French, you would say Makronos, with an accent here on the E, accent aigu, but I couldn't get that with the big letters here. But in Greek, because the name, there were many Greek historians in ancient Egypt, so in Greek you would pronounce this Makronos, Pharaoh Makronos. Makronos, here he is, Makronos. And actually in demotic, because demotic is written only with the consonants M, K, R, and S, so the vocals, they're not even 100% known. So this Y could very well be an A. And I'm 100% sure that the name of this pharaoh is Makronos, and so is this one here, who is really meditating, as you can see here. She's trying to distract here the whole atmosphere here, of the other ones, because he's going in trance, and rolling his eyes, which I'm going to explain you later on. And he's very well at closing his eyes at the moment his eyes start rolling, so you don't see it, when they're getting white and demon possessed. And I'm going to give you all the proofs in this video, you'll see. So, Makronos in Greek, Menkaura, which is interesting, in the Haka, where there is the pharaonic word Ka for the soul. The warrior, he takes the soul of somebody else, the living soul, which is the Ka, Haka. And you say, like Kamate, again the Ka, Kamate, Kaura, Kaura, and this guy, his demotic name is Menkaura. These pharaohs were everywhere, but the people don't know it anymore, because after 2 generations, life goes on, you make babies and you need some scoff, and people have never written anything down, so they don't even know anymore where the words come from. But it's definitely the Haka, and the words, it's 100% pharaonic. Well, not 100%, but the words which are pharaonic in there, they are 100% demotic. So Pharaoh Makronos, here he is. We're being ruled by Pharaoh's nobility, and all the proofs are here. Pharaoh Makronos is also called Menkaure in Demotic, and he reigned over the Old Kingdom in the 4th dynasty from 2532 BC to 2503 BC, roughly 4,500 years ago. So here you see that this guy really existed, Makronos. If you pronounce that in Greek, you get Makronos, Makronos. And well, this is in French, because in English, usually the name Menkaure is being used. And he commanditaire, he gave the order to build the pyramid of Makronos, this one here, which is one of the 3 pyramids of Gizeh. And this is why Macron, when he became the president, remember, he was standing here in front of that pyramid in Paris. Eh? And he reigned here from 2,500 before BC. And here you can see, this is, oh, you can't see that. So here's a whole list of pharaohs. Well, I'm not going to bother you or bore you with that. So, you know, you can just have a look. And in fact, this pharaoh, he was the grandson of Pharaoh Cheops, who built the other pyramid there at Gizeh Plateau. In fact, the big one, the pyramid of Cheops. So, see, it's a whole list. I'm not just telling you something. Oh, there he is again, Makronos. You see? And he's an ancestor of the French president. I have no doubt. You know, I have no doubt. So here's some more. Oh yeah, and what is interesting, I'll show you that in another image. Just a minute. So there he is again in Wikipedia. And what is interesting, that he's having the crown of the White House of Upper Egypt, the Perhet, as in fact the pyramid which he built is in Lower Egypt, the Pertasser. So you see, he was the king, roi, of the 4th dynasty, and he is the Cheops. He was the grandson of Pharaoh Cheops. And so I'll show you the whole thing here. There's a lot more you can read here. Oh yeah, there it is. There's the pyramid of Makronos. So President Makronos, Pharaoh Makronos, when he went to Egypt, he went here, no doubt. There are no pictures, but this is where he went, you know, the pyramid of Makronos. And what is interesting, if I'll put this in another language here, like English, I get here the name Menkaure, which is the name of Makronos used mostly in the English language. But as there were so many, there was Napoleon who went to the pyramids, and Makronos is in Greek because when the Pharaonic Empire, when they expanded first to Persia and then to Greece, you know, there's a lot of words from Demotic that became Greek. So, and I think, you know, the French language is far more precise, as, for instance, the word Antichrist, you know, it is with an E and not with an I, because the Antichrist is not, he's not anti, or anti in American, but in British English, anti. He's not against, you know, the savior, whatever. But he's before, anterior, you know. And in French, it's been written correctly, not in English. Absolutely not. That's Hollywood style, you know, against or anti-Christ. And it's the same with this here, Menkaure. And because we don't really know the Demotic, so I think the Greek name is more precise, because and the Greeks, the Greek, they were there even like 4,500 years ago, you know.